What's up, YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to try to capture how I am installing solar panels on the roof of my four-wheel camper. It's a little bit nerve-wracking because these things are definitely not cheap, and drilling the holes in the roof is something I'm pretty nervous to do. So I'm gonna make a video of this. Most of the time you have to order this directly from the factory, which I did not do. This one was purchased slightly used. It's a 2020 model. However, the person ordered it almost exactly how I would, except for with the roof tracks. So I'm gonna show you how I'm doing it. And I purchased these off eBay. There's a guy selling tons of them. I think my method might almost be a little bit better just because I'm going all the way to the ends of the roof instead of close to the ends. That way, in the future, if I want to add other things, it'll be a lot easier to put things almost anywhere I want on the roof. So stay tuned. I'm gonna see if I can capture this for you. First step is gonna be to use this blade in my saw, which is for aluminum and metals and things like that. And then I'm gonna cut, I bought 4 of these. These are the Thule bars I purchased from someone on YouTube, and they were nice and inexpensive. So I'm excited for that. So I'm basically gonna cut these down to where they fully extend from that end to right about here. The ones from the factory kind of stop here, which is not what I want. I'd like to come kind of all the way to the end. That way I can install things almost all the way up to the ends. The goal is to have solar panels up here. So most likely you're gonna run one across the center there, or all the way in the front, or all the way in the back. I'm leaning towards the front. That way, if I do put my roof box up here, other heavy things on the other side or on this side, either way, most likely the other side, because these vents are closer to me. You can't tell in the video, but they are. And that way, if the box is up there, more of that weight is going to be towards the rear since the box is wider in the rear. And then I'll be able to access the back of the box from like just the bumper, the back of the truck back here. So that's the plan. Once I get these cut down, the hard part's going to be finding where these studs are. I've kind of marked them here with a marker, and then I'm going to get it traced all the way down so that I can install and do all that. Don't mind my garage. It's a mess right now because I am currently finishing the ceiling. So that's something else I'm doing on the side. And by the way, for these videos, I wanted to mention that all of my videos will not be just four-wheel campers. I think this is just something kind of interesting that I'm working on. But I do make videos of dirt biking, snowmobiling, and other outdoor adventures. But I think one of the more interesting things that people like to see is projects like this. People don't always want to watch videos of me snowmobiling because that can only relate to some people. So anyways, I thought I could put out more interesting content by filming these things. If you're interested in those things, like how I'm finishing the garage ceiling or what I might do with an attic up there, comment below, let me know what that interest is in, or tell me what you're interested in, and I'll make videos on that. So I'm into a lot of things, but yeah, hopefully this is good information for some of you, and love to do more videos on the four-wheel camper, just because I've got my own business called Rad Camp that's based around camping and adventure. So there'll be a lot of upgrades and things I'm doing to the camper. If you're interested in that specifically, let me know. I have a feeling most people watching this probably care about or have or want a four-wheel camper. So thanks. Smells like burnt metal, baby. Pretty clean cut. Right now, I'm just cleaning off the bottom surface of these before I put them on, just to get them nice and fresh. That way, it's a professional install, just like from the factory, if not better. I'm definitely making this up as I go because it's kind of hard to plan it all out. And I've drawn it out on paper, on engineering paper, which is helpful, but I think getting out here and just doing it in real life is the best way to figure out how you're going to do something. Right now, what I'm doing is just marking, trying to find exactly where the stud is underneath here. It's kind of hard to tell, but reading stuff online and things like that, I think there's one here for the vent, and then 15 inches, and then 12 to the next. So I'm gonna kind of continue that and just mark them and make sure it's perfect before I start screwing this guy down. And then that's what it'll look like. I'm also using an old school method, just knocking on the roof and kind of marking exactly where that stud's at. There's just not a lot of information online, people talking about how they find these studs. You can kind of see from underneath where they're at, but you just want to make sure you're kind of dead in the center before you start drilling holes. Over there is some of the Victron equipment I purchased. I'll probably do a separate video on the actual solar stuff, so let me know if you're interested in that. As you can see right here, I am lining up the first track and taping it down. I did start to use a permanent marker to mark the holes, but then I realized it's actually just easier to drill get it lined up perfect, drill the very end hole, and then do the other end. All right, here goes, guys. This is probably the scariest part of the whole thing. First hole being drilled right now. Let's see how this goes. Super nervous, but just gonna go for it, you know? Not gonna go too far. All right. Including stud now. Ooh, I think that was it. Let's see what happens from here. I'm gonna get some clear silicone on that and try to run it in with a rubber washer. Pick these up at Ace Hardware because I saw on the 4-wheel camper video somewhere along the line, this was seemingly like they use some rubber washers too. So I'm gonna do clear silicone and a rubber washer and should seal this roof up real nice. Just a side note here, the rubber washers did not end up working. The screws end up sticking up a little bit too far and interfering with anything you put in the tracks, and I think they're unnecessary, so I ended up just using clear silicone and stainless steel screws instead of adding these rubber washers. I would definitely suggest using a larger silicone gun than I had here because that thing was a terrible thing to use, period. It wasn't great. And also, I would definitely recommend hand turning all these in. It takes quite a while, but you definitely don't want to strip out the aluminum bars inside the roof either. I found it to be a lot quicker if I kind of do one thing at a time. So I went ahead, drilled all the holes, and then filled them all with silicone as step 2. And then the third step was to go through and put all the screws in. As long as you do this quick enough, you should not have the silicone dry up on you prematurely, which is obviously the goal because you want to make sure there are definitely no leaks coming into the roof. I also found out that it's easier to start the screws with my drill. All right, I'm getting down to the home stretch. So far I have that one done and I'm finishing up this side now and I'm just putting a few more screws in and then it shall be complete. Only took a few hours. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe and let me know anything else you might be interested in seeing. I'm also filming another video where I'll be installing the solar panel and putting the roof box up top where you can see the final product and how everything comes together. So please check that out as well. Thanks again.